Isn't that silly? Nobody's sillier than this old gal. If they are, you know where they are. The green roof inn. And they don't keep you there very long. I don't know where they put you now because I think they closed Polk Hospital down. I don't know if you go to North Warren anymore. That's what they used to call it up the North Warren, I think. I never been there, but I remember back in the olden days, they used to send people up there. Before that, they just locked you up in the attic. I wouldn't want locked up in our attic. Oh my gosh, that was so hot and dusty, and ew, it was fun to go and look as a little girl, but I wouldn't want to be locked up in there. It wouldn't be like flowers in the attic, that's for sure. And I think there was only floorboards every so often, and you had to be careful where you walk or you fell down into it would be the top of the ceiling of the room below. But anyway, what was I talking about? Flowers in the attic. No, we're not going to talk about flowers in the attic. What was I talking about before that? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm on here for, to tell you the truth. I was thinking about jobs I used to have, and I got fired. Did you ever get fired from a job? I did. I just took it in stride. It was just another step in old Wonky's life, and you just find something else and move on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know out there, there's one of you that can relate, because you've had more jobs than anybody I know, and don't try to lie to me, because when I'm on YouTube, I know what everybody's saying when they're watching. There's a screen pops up, and I see you watching me. And that little 5-year-old boy, he was the cutest and the funniest, and he had me laughing at me. Did I say that right? Yeah, he did, and he is the cutest little thing. He's a little doll baby. But it's nice to entertain the kids, because kids nowadays don't know what real fun is. They think fun's sitting in front of a computer, Xbox, or I don't know what those other things are called, because I'm not into that. But I do have an Xbox. In fact, I got 2 Xboxes. And everybody I tell that to says, "You're so cool. You have an Xbox?" I say, "Yeah, I get on there and kill zombies." And they're like, "You're kidding me." I said, "No, I think it's fun, but I haven't done it in a couple years." But then you know what they say? You want to know? Am I going to tell you? Of course. What was I saying? Am I getting dementia? I was going to tell you something that I probably should. I might have to start this video over. I was talking about the kids, and when I tell them about Xbox, they say, "When I'm your age, I hope I'm just like you." And I get a big smile, because I think, I must be one pretty cool old granny. Well, I was talking about jobs you get fired from. It's pretty bad when this happens to you. You know you've got something going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got a job at an information center. You know, there's places where tourists don't know where they're going or what to do or where the hotels are and all that stuff. I got a job there. And you know what happened? People would say, "Where's the best hotel?" And I'd say, around here, we ain't got no good hotels. You gotta go out to this city. Now, when I was in Baltimore, I stayed in the nicest hotel. I suggest you go down there. And they just look at me and say, that old woman's nuts. That's not what we wanted to know. She don't know nothing. And then they'd come and say, where's the best restaurant around here? And I'd say, you can go to any restaurant in this area and you're going to get good food. It's going to be pricey. Because I, when it comes to eating out, I'm a little bit frugal. That's why I go here. Yeah, I go here. How do you like this big sucker? Look at that. That's bigger than my head. I'll tell you one thing, there's more in it than's in my head. Well, other times at the information center, they'd start getting friendly and I'd say, where are you folks from? And they'd tell me and I'd say, I was born on a farm back of Lane in 1952, and it was so hot that day. And I'd start telling them about my birth and how hard it was, and they thought me and my mother was both going to die, and that I was born breech, and I was born at home, and when I came out, every part of my body was black and blue. My mother was hot and exhausted, and my dad cried, and he said, Mom, we ain't going to have no more. Because I was trying for a boy. And they wanted the boy to help on the farm. Well, my dad, I was the third girl. So they gave up trying when I came, which is understandable. You don't want to keep trying when you already got one like this. That's what's time. They called me Quits. That's my middle name, Quits. So anyway, the people were complaining to the manager, and they said, she's giving out too much information. We talked to her, and she is TMI to the hill. I lost my job at the information center for giving out too much information. Who does that? I thought that's what my job was. They said, you go and you help these people and you tell them everything you know. Well, that's not exactly how they said it, but that's how I took it. And I didn't realize I knew so damn much. But I knew stuff they didn't want to hear, but I thought when you're talking to people, you tell them everything. I've always done that. I'm as transparent as a fly's wings. That's how transparent I am. You can see right through me. You can read me like the newspaper. Do they still have newspapers? I think they do, but they're so damned expensive, it's cheaper to go buy a computer and get on the internet to get your news and to get a newspaper subscription. So I think their sales are probably pretty low, but I do see them coming through here and delivering newspapers, and I'm like, what's wrong with you people? You're spending all that money. You got that much money to spend on the newspaper, spend it on me and help me pay my bills so I got food in my stomach. Don't I look like I'm starving? Look how skinny my neck is. Look. You see that? That's how skinny I am. And look at my arms. Look how my arms are. There's nothing there but the skin. Now who would show that on YouTube? I don't want anybody to see. Why did I show you that? Damn it, Kim. See, I don't know what's wrong with me. I got more than one screw loose. I got a whole box. In fact, I think every screw I have needs tightened up. I know somebody that does carpenter work, but he don't come by very often, but he should, because he needs to tighten my screws up, especially in my head. But he had a flood at his place, and he's mad. Oh, when he gets mad, you better look out, 'cause oh, that man is a mean one. He will rip you more than one new one, I'll tell you that. When he gets done ripping you, you just will be one big... Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I can't say because that little 5-year-old boy might be watching, but... Hi, sweetie. I hope you are watching. I'm going to talk to you, I think, every time I'm on here. How you doing, pumpkin? You being a good boy? You better be a good boy. I know where you live. You want me to come see you? How about I bring you the ice cream cone? Would you like that? No, I just kidding. Don't start looking at the door for me driving up in my old beat up Dodge with an ice cream cone, 'cause I just a kidding. You know, I don't think kids know what kidding means, 'cause a little neighbor girl was over here, and I said, you better be a good girl, I'm going to beat your butt. And she went over and hid behind her grandma. I said, I won't beat your butt, I just kidding. Kids, and I remember when I was a kid, people would say some funny stuff. I thought they were serious, 'cause when I was about 10, my sister got married. And I had this little organ I played. It played regular songs, and it had keys and some little buttons, and I was pretty good at it, and I loved to play. Well, my sister got married, and I heard my mom say to my sister, Carol can... Oh, there goes my name again. Oh, well, you all know who I am anyway. Carol can play the organ at your wedding. And I was real shy back. Yeah, I was, really. Seriously, I was sorry. I know it's hard to admit. And I thought to myself, oh my Lord. They play that real hard wedding march songs at weddings. I can't play that. I'd be so nervous. I was sure I was supposed to play the organ at a wedding. That's how naive kids are. So remember when you're talking to little kids, they believe everything you say. You tell them about Santa Claus, they're going to be listening for Santa Claus. I used to listen for Santa Claus. I still listen for Santa Claus. The old bugger hasn't showed up, but I keep listening. You gotta believe. You have to believe. Now I believe in Jesus. Jesus is my Santa Claus. He brings me stuff. You can't see it, but it's in my heart. Oh, I got off track again. I'm sorry. Another job I got fired at. This woman I used to carpool with, well, we both worked at the university. Well, I decided I couldn't take that job anymore, and I had a nervous breakdown, not a real bad one, but I had to quit. So she found out that, well, of course she knew I quit because we used to carpool. Well, she asked me if I'd like to stay with her mother during the day while she worked. I said, yeah, that would be an easy job I could handle. There wouldn't be no stress, and I could just kind of do as I wanted and make sure her mother was okay. Well, I did that for about, I think 3 weeks or so. Wasn't a whole long time, but I made a little bit of money, which I needed because I didn't have no income, but I was living at home. Now I'm telling you too much you don't need to know. Anyway, she called me up and she said, you don't need to come up in the morning because we found someone else to take care of my mother. And I thought, why'd you do that? So I asked her, and she said, my mother said you talk too much and she can't take it anymore. I was flabbergasted. I thought, that can't be right. That just can't be right. So I said, okay, and I hung up the phone, and I was kind of scratching my head. I was in my 20s then, I think. Probably my late 20s. I don't know, mid to late 20s. And I started to work at university when I was 18, so I couldn't have been too old. I'd worked there 7 years, which would make me 25. So yeah, I was probably like mid to older 20s, and you didn't need to know all that either, but I talked too much. And I went to my mom and I said, I just lost my job taking care of Mrs. No, I don't know what her last name was. I can't remember, but she said, really? I said, yeah. Laura said that her mother told her I talk too much. And my mother started to laugh. I'm like, Mom, what's the damn darn funny about, I'm trying to be kid friendly. Mom, what's so funny about that? And she said, 'cause that old woman's deaf. She can't even hear. She can't even hear, but she thinks you talk too much. She must have saw your lips move. Lips. She must have saw your lips moving too much. So that's what happens when I talk too much. And I've already talked too much, so I think I'm going to just say goodbye and leave it at that. Because I know you're not watching the whole thing, but you know what you can do? You can mute it and go do something else, because it'll show up that you watched the whole thing and it helps my channel. Yeah, I heard another woman doing that, and I thought, why is she telling people just to let it run if you don't want to watch it? Because YouTube keeps track of how long you watch, so I know you're not watching past about 3 minutes. So if you don't want to see it all, just don't pause it, mute it, or just let it run and go do something else and come back later and turn it off. Okay? That would help the old woman. That'd help old Waltz. Okay, you know I love you with all my heart and soul. You're my precious friends, and I appreciate every one of you. And that little boy, I'd forget your name, and maybe I didn't hear your name, but you be a good boy. Say your prayers. I love you. Bye, everybody.